Welcome to another episode of the No More Interruption Show. And it's your girl, Hazel, founder of Big Girl Interrupted. Ladies, it's time to join the conversation and own your journey. In this podcast, we will explore all areas of a woman's experience with confidence, from relationships to personal and professional to employment, education, entrepreneurship, and sex, marriage, divorce. There's nothing that we won't talk about, all while develop and work on our positive mindset. There's nothing off limits here. So today I'm excited because I have Kylee with us. Yay!
Hey.
So Kylee, tell us about yourself.
Yeah, well, I currently live in Rhode Island in the US. Let's see. I was raised as a military kid for a good portion of growing up, and then we still continued moving when my dad got out. And, part of that taught me and my three siblings, like, you don't have to conform to what's around you. You can live unconventionally. You challenge cultural norms and don't be afraid to get out there and do it. And so that's kind of how I've lived my life. And I got married really young. So I got married when I was 20. We've been married almost 11 years now.
Wow, congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. I've always been in business for myself. Entrepreneurship runs in my blood. And then, we moved and we adopted our son internationally from Colombia. So that theme of challenging the norms and living unconventionally and, you don't have to do what the culture tells you has just kind of been that theme of my life. So that's just a little bit about me.
Awesome. Well, thank you and welcome to the show. So what area of your life are you currently working on that in your life that's an interruption, would you say?
That is interruption. You know what? I said I've been in business for myself for a very long time. I've had 3 different businesses, different areas all the way through. And the last company I was with, it was like 1099 situation. So I was still kind of under this umbrella. As much as they talked about not having limiting beliefs and certain things around your schedule and what you can do and what you can't do, they toted that stuff all the time. But coming out of it, I've realized I have never limiting beliefs as the 2.5 years I spent with that company. And so my interruption right now is interrupting all of those thoughts. And it's almost I'm doing the interrupting this time. Okay. I'm only 1.5 years into motherhood. I'm new into my next venture. We're homeschooling our son. I've got a podcast coming out in 2 weeks. And I'm having to look at this and go, okay, I used to live in such a way. I used to design my schedule and my processes in a way that, and I tried to conform for 2.5 years to something I was told worked and never did for me. And now I'm having to brain on what this can look like for me.
Right. And so what is it like? What is that starting to look like now for you? Like unpacking it, what does it look like now?
It's been taking a hard look at my schedule, very practically speaking, and going, you know what? I don't have 9 to 5. That's not how the hours have to work for me when you're in business for yourself.
Right.
And, I used to know that. I used to work differently. And for so long, I didn't. So now I'm looking at it and going, you know what? My husband gets off at 4:30. He can take my son then, and I can work until 9 or 10 o'clock. And you know what? Work better that way anyways. When I tried working in the mornings, like I'm not good 9 to 12. I am not like hard hitting, getting stuff done during that time. That's not my sweet spot.
Right.
I recognize that. I think when you're a go-getter, when you have goals, when you're pursuing things, when you're an entrepreneur, there's so much out there saying that you have to be a morning person and you have to do it this way. And I still think mornings are important. I still take that time or work hard to take that time for myself before my son gets up. But that doesn't mean that's when I'm going to be most productive in work or in business. And that's okay.
Right. And that's the big message is that's okay. Because a lot of us think it's not okay. Right. And we get stuck there. And then the limiting thoughts and the limiting beliefs start to show up and then paralyze us and get us stuck.
Yeah. And so what happens when you just take a second to step back and go, what if I didn't do it that way? Just what if? What could it look like? Can you try something new and rearrange your schedule just a little bit? Or what if you hate running and that's the only idea you have in your head of exercise? There's so many more forms of I hate running. I don't do it. But but I get my butt in the gym. I love lifting weights. And I work hard at that and I like it. So just, okay, this is what is in my head as how it has to be. Let's just, what are the other options? The most options wins.
Right. So that leads me to the positive mindset. So what does that look like for you, Kylee? What are some positive mindset strategies, tools that you are using right now to help you become uninterrupted in those thoughts?
Journaling, definitely. Even if you don't want to be a journaler, write something down.
Yes.
While I had a journal, what did I do right today? That's it. Because I needed that in that season of life where I just felt like I was screwing up one thing after the next and just, okay, I just need record and I need to sit down and be grateful for the thing I did correctly today.
Yeah.
And if it was I got out of bed, then fantastic. If I took a shower and washed my hair, some days it's like that.
Yep. And we have to be real.
Yeah. And some days there were 10 things and some days there were 2. But as long as there was something written down, that's what I needed to see that day. So I'm a big believer in journaling, whatever that has to look like for you. Affirmations, I think, are incredibly important, but you got to do them right. Yes. I'm a coach, so I teach people how to do this.
Yes.
And so if your affirmation is silly to you, if you feel dumb saying them, then they're the wrong ones.
Yeah.
Because you got to be able to say it with conviction. And if it's, I am working hard to XYZ, then great. That's okay too.
Yeah.
So that, and then you've got to get the right people around you. And that's in your community, whether that is across you or, my 2 best friends live across the country from me. I am on Marco Polo with them every single day. And so
wow.
That's how we keep this community going with the 2 of them, because they are that positive force in my life.
Yeah.
And then what are you intaking on social media as well? I've had to sift through that and go, you know what, there's some political stuff on here that stresses me out right now and I can't look at that. Or, you know what, there are friends that I don't hate them. I don't not want to know what's going on in their life, but their stuff is not life-giving to me when I see it. And so it's not excommunicating them to not follow them on social media. And I think all of that infiltrates our mindset more than we would like to give it credit.
Yeah. I agree. Like for me, my social media feed is everything that can fill my cup up. If you can't fill my cup, I won't engage with it. Right?
Yeah, get out of here.
Yeah. Yep. So, with that positive mindset, what are some goals that you have, life goals? I personally set 12-month goals, breaking up into quarters. How do you set your goals? Because you're a coach.
Oh, so. This is my jam.
Yay! Let's dig it. Let's go in.
I am an executive coach with a focus on goal setting. So I have a 7-week course on goal setting. And this is my husband and I, we sifted through all the goal things when we first got married, and we set up this program, and this is what has worked for what helped us get out of all of our debt. We had $44,000 in student loans that we knocked out in 26 months. So that was like our first really big win as a couple. Right. We adopted internationally. We bought a house. I've got my accomplishments up here. I keep my confidence anchors up on the walls. I wrote a book and published that. We completed the Spartan trifecta races last year, and it's all with this program, and the big thing is the goals are.
So what would you say the key frameworks of your plan, if you don't mind sharing that? So
yeah. So the first step is you got to know what your vision is. So kind of like you just asked, like these big life goals, what do you want your life to look like?
Yeah.
And I find that so many people don't take that time to step back and really look at it. They've just got their head down, nose to the grindstone, like doing the next thing. And they don't go, did I even want this? Until they're retiring, until they're 75 years old going, gosh, I would have done things really differently if I had like taken a second.
Right.
Figure out what that vision is and look at, okay, how do vision and make it a goal now, and then what can I, and we break it all the way down. So, and a lot of people do know how to do this part, right? You go, okay, what can I do this year? What can I do this month to make me help me move towards that? What can I do this week? And that part's great. The rest of the program is bringing the humanity into goal setting. So what I mean by that is, do your goals align with what your values are? And have you ever taken the time to figure out what those values are? Who are you as a person, your personality, and are you on the same page with your spouse if you're married? How are you guys going to be moving in the right direction together? And then it's also okay. It's okay to change the goal, change the direction, to go, this is not the most important thing right now. And that doesn't mean it's not important. It's just not for the season I'm in. So it's like, let's have these really big goals. Let's get after it. Do the impossible things. I want that for you. I want that for me. But sometimes we have to step back and go, not right now.
Right.
You know, it's like saying, I want to be a millionaire and have this kind of a company, and that's fantastic. But like, when you get there, are you divorced and 300 pounds overweight and kids hate you? Like, then you didn't meet your vision.
No, you didn't.
Like, I have this goal for the next 12 months, but I had a health scare. And so maybe I need to taper back on what that goal is, and go, health is the area of focus right now. So all of those is like just giving yourself grace to change course, right? Not excuses, but change course when necessary.
Yes. Yes. And there's a big difference between the two of those.
Yes. Yes. I just joined a challenge for July. Are you familiar with the Murph workout?
No. What is it?
No. Okay, so it's a Memorial Day workout. It's in honor of a U.S. veteran who died in action. And so it's this insane workout. You do 100 pull-ups, 200 push-ups, and 300 squats, and you run a mile on either end of that.
Wow.
And you're supposed to do it with a weighted vest. I am not quite there yet.
But I'm sure you'll get there by the end.
I'm trying. I mean, better every year. But this challenge...
What's at the end? Is there like a community thing where you all come together?
If you're at a CrossFit gym, they do it together. But I just work out at my parents' gym, and we go, "Oorah, we did it!" Yay. You get your time on the board.
Okay, good.
But I just joined this version of the Murph for every day in July, and so it's tapered down a little bit from everything I just listed. Why did I start saying this? But just challenging myself to,
and your challenge, yes.
Oh, it's okay. Okay, so you're supposed to do it every day for 30 days. This workout that they put in place, in addition to whatever workout is already on your plan. And so this is a challenge because I've never done something like that, and it's on top of what I already need to do for this race I'm going to do in July. And so I said, even though I'm going to miss at least because that I've got to do, and I've got to plan appropriately for the workouts around that, leading up to it, the day of and such, make sure I don't kill myself. But just that in itself, like, okay, this is a challenge. This is a goal I have. I already am reckoning with, I'm not going to be perfect at it. I'm not going to hit all 30 days. I'm going to have to just own that it's probably going to be 25.
Right.
And that's okay. I'm still challenging myself outside of my norm for 25 days.
Yep.
Let's go.
Yeah. And you're building that consistency muscle and habit muscle. So yeah, no, good.
Yeah.
Good.
And into it.
Yeah. I love challenges. I was just talking to a friend the other day, telling her that, I have to get back on it, because I used to do a 100-day workout challenge, and I did like 10 cycles of it.
Wow.
Yeah. And I was happy with it. I was definitely, and it definitely created some big changes for me. And I need to go back to it, because I know that's where my happy place is. But no, that's
Yes.
good.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. Fine.
So, okay. So the big famous question that I love asking everybody, do you have a reset plan?
Being that I don't know what it is, I'm going to say no, at least
Uh-huh.
not by your terminology.
You do have a reset plan because I've heard you the little tidbits of what you've shared so far. Yes, you do have a reset plan. So in the Big Girl Interrupted community, we are big on acknowledging when unexpected interruptions show up, when we're focused on our goals. And in my coaching practice, I encourage women to create a reset plan so that when that interruption shows up, they actually have their proactive reset plan already in set. They go and engage with it, and then they can come back and refocus and focus back on their goals. So that's what I do in my practice. So that's why I like to ask everybody. And I love that everybody has like their own version of it, or they just don't know what it is because they're like, I've never heard of a reset plan.
Well, I think it's coming back to your vision. So what was the interruption? Does it deserve your time? Like I said, like let's say you have a heart attack, God forbid, that deserves, or else you can't do anything else moving forward.
Right.
And you pay attention to that kind of interruption.
Yes.
I'm trying to think of other examples of interruptions. I mean, my husband and I have been married for a year and a half, and he got a job offer, and they said, we were in Texas, and they said, do you want to move to Rhode Island or California? And we were like, okay, you've been looking for a job for a year. This is the first like real gotten. I guess we'll go to Rhode Island because we've never been there before.
Oh.
And so that interrupted the business I was building there. I was building 2 businesses there. And we just up and moved.
Wow.
And we didn't know anybody. It was a journey to get here, but it was perfect. It was the best decision. We're so glad that we did that.
Oh, good. Good.
So it's what interruptions are you going to pay attention to? Deserve your time and energy, and which ones do you need to squash? And I think it always comes back to what is your vision, and now I move towards it. How? Not I can't.
Right. I love that. Thank you. So how do you celebrate yourself? How do you celebrate your big wins and your small wins?
Big wins usually have something tied to them. Like, okay, I'm going to go for this, and my husband and I will collaborate and figure out what it's going to be. We went to Ireland for our 5th anniversary, and that was the year we'd gotten out of debt. So this was like a huge celebration trip. Wow. So that was a big win for something we had been working towards for so long. But while we were there, we went to the Jameson distillery, and we got 2 bottles of very nice whiskey that are specific to Ireland. You cannot get them. We are 6 years later, and on the really big wins, we have a glass of that Jameson Irish whiskey. Yes. So when I published my book and it hit #1 on Amazon, we had a glass of whiskey.
That deserves a big glass of whiskey.
Yes.
I love it.
Yeah. So it's been a little bit different each time. We were in Colombia for a full 4 weeks. Son, that was a journey, and we had a glass of whiskey when we got home.
Wow. You know what? We'll have to invite you back on because if you're open to sharing that whole experience, because we have one of the topics that some of the women in our community talked about, like the infertility process and adoption. And so, So I would like to have you come back and just be a part of that series.
Definitely. Let me know. Adoptive moms want to talk about adoption all day long.
Yeah. That's on my bucket list.
Love it.
Yeah. Yes. So thank you. I love this conversation. I love that we got to sit down and chat, and I got to learn more about you. But I like to do rapid fire questions, so it's that time.
Okay, let's go.
You ready?
Probably not, but let's go.
Okay. So, what are 3 to 4 action steps that you would encourage a woman to take right now to becoming uninterrupted?
Know your vision. Set that up. You're going to have to take some time, but you've got to evaluate and go, what do I want out of my life? And then make a plan to get there and do something right now towards that. Something that will only take no more than 20 minutes. What is that first step that you can do right this minute?
I love it. Love it. Love it. Who's someone that inspires you?
My mom.
Ah,
yeah.
And what is a non-negotiable in your life?
In my life, exercise and freedom. Freedom in all capacity. I want freedom of choice, controlling me, telling me where to be, what to do, or how I have to do it.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I want that too. Amazing. Yes. And what is your go-to self-care activity or experience?
Gosh, I hate that phrase so much.
Which one? Which part of it?
Oh, self-care.
Is that because you don't do it often?
I just don't like the cultural connotation that's tied to it. I think that's just something about that bugs me. I think it falls into a treat yourself, like too much, and then people aren't actually. Self-care is going to be the best thing for you to help you get that life you want to live. So self-care might be taking hours, and it might be getting up earlier than you want to, and it might be journaling when you don't want to. Those things that you don't necessarily want to, things for your mind, body, and soul.
Right.
And I don't think that's how most people treat it. It's just like, treat yourself, do what you want, what feels good in the moment. And I don't think that's true self-care. So that's my, sorry, that's my soapbox on self-care.
No. And that's what we want to hear.
I would say if I had to answer this, it is doing some of those hard things and committing to them, whatever they might be. It might be committing to half an hour, 30 days. It might be like in July that I don't like it, but I know it's going to make me better.
Yeah.
That and alone time. I am a better person when I get to wake Kylee and not Mama. When I get to tell my husband, like, I need a full day alone. I want to wake up in the bed alone. I want to go to sleep in the bed alone. And I want no one else in my house. Like, I just need a day. This does not happen often. But when I know when I need that alone time. And sometimes it's like the gym. And sometimes it's running to the library to get some work done there, or just read a book with no interruptions and not even just letting the dogs out.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's, I need a full day. Go away. Take him with you.
And that's good. That's good that you could like you can say that and experience that, because not even though you say it, some people don't experience it, especially women. They may share it, but they may not get the opportunity to make it actually happen.
Or there's guilt around it.
Yes, huge guilt.
Yep.
And then they're out. They may be getting the opportunity to experience it, but they're checking in 10 million times.
Yes. No, you need to be alone. It's good for your soul.
Even though it's hard, because I know for me, it's hard. Yeah. I mean,
you're better when you come back.
Yes, you are. You are focused. You are rested. Your shoulders are down. You're relaxed. Your body's like in a calm, whatever calm state it is for you. It's calm. So no, it's important. It's really important.
Yes.
Well, Kylee, tell people how they can connect with you, access your book. Did you share your link? Because we'll post all your links at the end of at the bottom of the show notes. But
definitely, I'll get that to you.
Out to you and access you and get access to your goal setting program.
So Instagram is the best spot on social media. So it's at Kylee_N_Robinson. My website is KylieRobinson.com. I for you guys, it's 5 steps to stop procrastinating and break down your goals. So that's KylieRobinson.com/free. So those are the best ways to get in touch with me. The podcast will be released in 2 weeks, or I guess in late June. And that's Ask Hard Questions, and that'll be anywhere you listen to your podcasts. It's on Amazon. It's Marine Corps Brat.
Marine Corps Brat?
Brat.
Oh.
Yep.
What's the meaning behind the title?
As I mentioned earlier, my dad was in the Marine Corps. And so for several years, we were raised as Marine Corps kids.
Right.
But then even coming out of that lifestyle, in a lot of ways, we held on to that lifestyle. And that didn't mean my dad was a drill sergeant. That meant challenge the norms. Do things like other people. Why would you cave to that? Like, this is not how our family does things. How are you going to challenge all of those things? And so every chapter of the book delves into a different area of life. So it might be education or spirituality or money. Each of these things, I feel like my upbringing caused me to think differently about than maybe what the rest of the culture does.
Amazing. Yay. Yeah. Yay. I'll have to check it out.
I'll get you all those links, those in the show notes.
Okay, perfect. Thank you for being on our podcast. I love this conversation, and I'm sure everybody, when it releases, they'll enjoy it too, because it's a powerful conversation. And I do want you to come back so that you can be part of the conversation about adoption and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you so much for having me, Hazel.
You're welcome.